Hello everyone, Nielzabub here, along with my new roommate, Daizyujin.
Hello, I exist in things. So, we're doing a Christmas episode today.
I'm not sure, Kakuranger doesn't have any Christmas episodes. I'm not sure I can do any interesting comparisons.
Kakuranger has a Christmas episode. You could probably talk about that.
When did you get a... Never mind. I was gonna wait to talk about the other Sentai, but I guess we can do it now.
Yeah, I had a good idea. I can't get drunk. Damn my perfect and immaculate constitution.
Well, that was needlessly weird. Roll intro. I mentioned in my Halloween episode that the Japanese don't really do Halloween television specials. Well, that applies to Christmas as well.
They don't celebrate Christmas in Japan?
They do, but like Halloween, it's very downplayed. It's treated more like a date night for couples than anything else. It's gained popularity in recent years, and you're more likely to see a Christmas special than a Halloween one, but from what I can tell, it's not the norm. Actually, the big Christmas tradition is to go to KFC.
What?
From what I've heard, it's because of American servicemen stationed in Japan after World War II, and great marketing from KFC. If you want to eat KFC during Christmas, you need to reserve in advance because they will be packed.
That's weird.
Not as weird as our Sentai discussion today. Okay, so a lot of you already know this. But just in case you don't, here's a recap of stuff I mentioned in my first episode. Power Rangers as we know it is an adaptation of a series of superhero shows in Japan referred to as Super Sentai. These shows have been airing in Japan since 1975 with Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. The first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was taken from the 16th Super Sentai series, Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. By its third season, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a hodgepodge of 3 completely different shows. Alright everyone, get out your notebooks. Now, the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger costumes that we all know and love come from Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, as well as Rita and her henchmen. The White Ranger costume comes from Gosei Sentai Dairanger, and the Ninja Zords, Ninjor, Rito, and Master Vile all come from Ninja Sentai Kakuranger.
And what about Lord Zed? Which show did he come from?
None. He was an original design from the American team.
They did a pretty good job on that design.
All right, Santa. Next year, you won't have to check your list.
Yeah, it was a really good design. There's a reason that to this day, Lord Zed is still one of the most iconic villains from the show. As I mentioned earlier, Zyuranger didn't have a Christmas episode, or a monster like Frankenstein that was easy to adapt to the holiday. So instead, during the second season, they did a direct-to-video release called Alpha's Magical Christmas. Alpha is bored and lonely because the Rangers are helping Santa, and so he kidnaps a bunch of children from around the world and forces them to sing Christmas songs for his amusement.
Alpha is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, honestly, this is a little more evil than anything Rita or Zed ever did. Dairanger didn't have a Christmas episode either, and while MMPR had a Halloween episode during its second season with Zed's Monster Mash, they didn't have a dedicated Christmas episode, although Christmas imagery was used in the 2-parter episode Storybook Rangers.
The third Sentai Power Rangers adapted, Kakuranger, did a Christmas episode, and it was amazing.
The third season of Power Rangers does actually have a proper Christmas episode, and we'll start by...
Why do we have to start with Power Rangers all the time? Their Christmas episode is boring. I want to talk about Kakuranger and their weird-ass Christmas episode.
I don't know, we've kind of built up a consistent style.
It's Christmas. Let's shake up the formula a bit.
Where are you getting all these tiny beers? Fine, we'll start with the Sentai this time. Part 1. All the Santas. Our story begins with a young boy being awoken by what he perceives as a burglar. The Kakurangers are on patrol and hear the screams and go to the house to discover what's wrong. They find a young boy in a Santa outfit who calls himself Little Santa. Little Santa explains that he is a child of Santa and came to train to be a great Santa. He learns that he came on the 23rd, a day early for Christmas Eve.
Because he's an idiot.
The boy whose house they are all in, Toshio, gets excited and opens one of the presents. A deadly centipede attaches itself to his skin, causing him to collapse in pain.
What a wuss! I got my arm cut off during the finale of my show and you didn't hear me whining about it. Oh, God! Ah! What the hell? Now I can only dramatically pose with one arm!
It's Christmas. We do not revel in the pain of small children at Christmas.
We don't revel in the pain of small. Give him something to revel about. Try saying that to me when I'm actually a giant robot and just fucking resin.
Little Santa realizes that all the presents have these centipedes and runs off to return to the North Pole to warn Santa. He is attacked by the yokai Omukade. Omukade gets angry at Little Santa for almost ruining his plan and tries to hurt him. The Kakurangers fight off Omukade, but the yokai escapes in the delivery truck, cutting off Little Santa's re-entry into the North Pole. The Kakurangers decide to take Little Santa to the North Pole themselves using Nekomaru, their magical flying cat bus.
What? They have a cat bus?
Yeah, the Kakurangers work part-time as crepe makers, using Nekomaru as a means of work and transportation.
But why do they have a cat bus? What does that have to do with Ninja?
Well, Ninja could use a cat's eye as a sort of sundial, since cat's eyes change shape depending on the time of day.
That sounds awesome! Let's get a cat!
No. No cats. Let's continue the review.
Dear Santa, my roommate's a jerk who hates cats for no reason.
What are you doing?
Writing more fanfiction. Want to hear?
No, it's fine. Just keep it to yourself. The Kakurangers go to the North Pole.
I thought the North Pole was supposed to be cold and miserable.
Well, this one is bright and sunny, and instead of elves, there are Asians in Santa Claus outfits who will cut intruders with spears.
Asian spear-wielding Santas? Why is Christmas so much cooler in Japan?
The Kakuranger blend into the environment by donning Santa disguises, and since all the other Santas are Asian, it works. They hide out in a theater, which leads to my favorite part of this episode. I don't know about you, but I would totally watch that show.
Ooh, a new subject for fanfiction.
The Kakurangers get found out and fight their way to the Elder Santa. They fight him and discover that he was infected with one of Omukade's centipedes. Little Santa opens a present and allows the centipede to attach itself to him to prove to everyone that the presents have been compromised.
It's truly one of the most beautiful Christmas stories.
Omukade, while disguised as one of the Santas, tricks Ninja Man into taking him out of the North Pole to deliver the presents. The Kakurangers catch up to him and have their epic, snow-filled showdown. Omukade is defeated and Christmas is saved.
And that's the end of part 1, right? Time to talk about part 2 of this episode?
Nope. This is a self-contained story. It doesn't advance the overall story arc or any individual character arcs. It's just a fun Christmas episode put in to extend the episode count.
I'm very curious how Power Rangers adapted this into their Christmas episode.
They didn't.
What?
Power Rangers didn't use any footage from this episode in their own Christmas episode.
What did they do?
Let's find out. Part 2, A Very Ranger Christmas. So yes, the Christmas episode of Power Rangers doesn't use any footage from the Christmas episode of its source material. Omukade gets used as the monster Sentaback in the episode Fourth Down and Long, in which he turns people into footballs. It's not very good, and it was during the part of the show where pretty much every monster turned the Rangers into some form of inanimate object. And that's all the more we're going to talk about it. Except for the fact they had to add a line about an incoming snowstorm to justify the mecha fight footage being in the snow.
Ay, ay, ay! My weather scanner shows a snowstorm is moving in!
Angel Grove is a strange place to live, with the most inconsistent weather imaginable.
I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger opens, just like most episodes of the series, in the youth center. Kimberly and Aisha are directing some underprivileged kids, Billy's words, not mine.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that underprivileged kids will have a happy place to spend Christmas Eve.
Lord Zed hates all this Christmas joy hullabaloo and decides to make Santa deliver toys he has made designed to enslave the children of Earth. Zed and his cronies pretty easily take over the North Pole since it's just Santa and his elves.
They should have had an army of Asian Santas, much more useful and efficient than elves.
Agreed. We have a couple of side conflicts established. There's a girl that's sad because her dad will be too busy to hear her sing at the Christmas concert, and Kimberly is sad because her mom is in France and won't be with her for Christmas. There's also a bit of a running joke with a mistletoe.
Mistletoe. I love this time of year.
Remember when Kimberly beat people up when they sexually harassed her? Yeah, I miss that too.
I'm bored! We've been watching for over 5 minutes and there hasn't been any fighting!
There really isn't one in this episode.
Why would they deviate from the successful formula? That's dumb, and I don't like it.
Well, they already used the Omukade footage. They obviously decided that they had to do a Christmas episode, but didn't have any additional footage for it. And the original mecha fight in the season opening miniseries Ninja Quest probably broke their budget for the season.
Razzafrassing humans with their precious metals and economics. Blech.
There is fighting, it's just a little weird. See, Zordon informs the Rangers that they are unable to morph at the North Pole because
of a combination of the North Pole's unique polarity and a cross-current of holiday magic, your morphing powers will not work there.
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho.
Huh. Wonder who that could be.
Merry Christmas!
It's Screamoji! He's back!
No, this is Merrymoji. Instead of giving presents and Christmas cheer, he's just an annoying asshole.
Just calm down. Just calm down. I know how to deal with this.
Ho, ho, ho.
That holiday magic thing is affecting the ranger weapon too.
What do I do then?
Watch the episode and see what the rangers did.
My life doesn't work!
Looks like we were right. Your powers are worthless here, Rito. This is a place where only good can win.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
That pretty much describes this whole episode.
The Rangers channel their inner Kevin McAllister and defeat their enemies with childish antics. The North Pole is free and Christmas is saved. That one girl's dad shows up and promises to spend more time with her. And Kimberly's mom also shows up. And Kimberly also gets a consensual kiss with Tommy.
Oh yes, because mild family drama resolution is what I wanted to see from this show.
While the action sequences were lackluster, it's actually a pretty decent Christmas episode that promotes the importance of family. It's also one of the few episodes in the original line that don't end with Bulk and Skull's humiliation. Bulk and Skull are being forced to be Santa and an elf for community service. They hate it. But the girl from earlier thanks Santa Bulk for giving her what she wanted for Christmas, and Bulk actually feels happy about it. And Skull even cries. The Kakuranger episode was a better action-adventure story, but outside of Little Santa's self-sacrifice moment to save the holiday, there's not a lot of Christmas conflict in this Christmas episode. The Power Rangers episode, while being light on action, is actually an okay and decent Christmas episode that focuses more on the importance of the holiday than fighting giant monsters. Whichever one you like better is really going to depend on what you're looking for.
You know, I've only been thinking about me today. Christmas is about other people. So here, Nielzabub, I made this for you.
Wow, this is...
I'm sorry it's not one of the fancy legacy communicators. I worked hard to make that. You've already ripped off my arm today, you might as well rip out my heart, too.
Hey, come on, buddy. Let me show you something. It's not quite a pet, but if you want, maybe you can use your powers to...
Screw everything in the world! I'm going to have a pet bear now! Yeah, giddy up, bear! Let's find some god-beast trout for you to feast on. And then we can punch a tree! And then after that, we'll destroy an entire forest. Maybe even two! Perhaps we can
Merry
find some
Christmas.
robot honey.
Be good to each other and put the important people in your life first. That's all for now. See you next time.